In this grade 12 English first editional video, we are preparing for the October-November finals for 2025 and we are looking at the exam scope for your paper 2. The good news is your literature list for your paper 2 does not change. It remains the same from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and that is why you will see that even with this scope video, we are touching almost the same things that we touched when we were dealing with the June exam as well as the preparatory examinations. So this is the exact same video that the people who were rewriting in 2025 used to prepare for their final exam, because in June they were writing their final. You're only writing your final now, so that means that your scope for what they wrote in June is going to be exactly similar to the one that you are writing right now in your October-November final exams. So because this is a repeat video, you will hear me keep referring to live classes. We had those in June, but we do not have them now, so kindly ignore those. Your paper 2 is going to consist of 4 sections. Those 4 sections are divided into different literatures. So section A is going to be a novel, section B is drama, section C is short stories, and section D is poetry. Now, you are required to choose only 2 questions from all of those 4 sections. So meaning that you are required to only choose 2 sections to answer from. Right? So if you choose to answer a section on poetry, this is the poetry list that the questions from poetry are going to come from. Now, from this list of 10 poems, they are going to select only 2. Those 2 poems, you're going to have to answer both of them. They are going to make up the same question. So, for example, if it's question 6, the first poem will be question 6.1 and the second one will be 6.2. So, for instance, if we're looking at our list there, the 6.1 may be hard to find, and then 6.2 may be on the grasshopper and the cricket. So since it's the same question, it means that you will be required to answer both of them. Now, this is if you choose to answer the section of poetry. However, because out of the 4 sections you are required to only choose 2 that you want to answer, it means that if the poetry list is too long for you and you feel like I don't want to deal with poetry, you can skip this section altogether and then look for 2 other sections that you can still answer. In my opinion, I feel if you are prepared for poems, this can become one of the easiest questions for you to answer because the poem is there and the questions follow. Next, we have our short stories list. In our short stories list, we have a total of 8 short stories. So if you are going to answer a section of short stories, then you will have to prepare for all of this following stories, because the question that is going to come up will consist of the 2 of the 8 short stories that you are seeing on the list. So again, like we said with poetry, let's say now short stories are question 5. Forbidden Love will be 5.1 and 5.2 will be the short story of rejection, or the extract from the short story rejection. It will still require you to know all of the story. So make sure that if you're choosing the short story list, you are sure that you are fully prepared for them. So 5.1 may be, for example, Forbidden Love, then 5.2 will be rejection. Or 5.1 could be Evelyn and 5.2 will be A Bag of Sweets. Or 5.1 could be Class Act and 5.2 be The Wind and a Boy. Or again, lastly, 5.1 may be The Girl Who Can, and 5.2 will be Triumph in the Face of Diversity. So unlike poetry where you are given the whole poem and you're allowed to answer the questions based on the whole poem that you are seeing on your paper, with short stories, obviously they will not give you the full short story. They will give an extract of the story, meaning a piece of the story, and they will ask you questions relating to that piece, but also relating to the short story as a whole. So you will need to know what the short story is all about. If you haven't had time to study all of them, at least do summaries. The novels and the drama are answered differently in your question paper from how we answer poetry and short stories. So with poetry and short stories, they give you two, you need to answer both of them. But with the novels, as you are seeing, we have two novels. The first one, Cry, the Beloved Country. The second one, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So what happens is you're going to have two questions. One is going to be from the first novel, Cry, the Beloved Country. The second one is going to be from Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Now from these, you are only required to answer one of them, not both. So meaning that with a novel, if you have only studied one novel, then you should be okay, because you are only required to answer one question of the novels, and it's a total of 35 marks. So with the drama, it's going to be similar to the novel. So we have two dramas, My Children, My Africa, and the second one is Shakespeare 2000, Macbeth. Now, with these two also, you are going to be given two questions. One is going to be from My Children, My Africa, and the other from Shakespeare. What you will be required to do is to only answer one of them. So if you are preparing for drama, you only need to have studied one of these books, meaning that if you only know My Children, My Africa, then you are good to go for a drama, because you will only be required to answer on My Children, My Africa. The question is going to be out of a full 35 marks. So if you answer just My Children and My Africa, you will be okay. Or if you answer just Shakespeare 2000 Macbeth, you will be okay, because that's what you're required to do. You should not at all answer both. So let's say for your preparation, you had My Children, My Africa, and you also were able to have one of the novels from the novels list. So what you can choose is the section of novels, answer one question, then come to the section of drama, answer one question. In total, you will have 70 marks, 35 and 35, and you will be complete. If you have YouTube, recommend you more of my videos. Be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below.